Hi guys, welcome to Palace of the Core. Second video today because obviously there's been a story in the news about Wilfried Zaha's contract. Now, as you may remember, I did a video a little while ago when the Saudi Arabian side came in and offered him £9 million a year to sign for them. Now, obviously his contract is ending at the end of the season. He turned that down because he wanted to stay in the Premier League or in European football. He didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia, which is fair enough. We now apparently have been told, according to The Guardian, that Crystal Palace have offered a bumper new deal for him to stay at Crystal Palace. Now, apparently, again, this is all part of the newspapers, so take it with a pinch of salt if you want. But apparently, the Palace have offered him £10 million a year, which would see his weekly wage go from £130,000 to £200,000 a week. And they've offered him that on a 4-year deal to keep him at Crystal Palace well into his 30s. So that would obviously, I would imagine, be then the end of his career, because he would probably retire at the end of that. Now, he apparently is considering the deal, but he wants certain assurances. And apparently some of the assurances he wants is, firstly, who the new manager is going to be, and also what Crystal Palace's European ambitions are. I think he wants to play in Europe. I think he wants European football, whether that's Crystal Palace or some other club. I think it depends on what assurances they can give him as to the Palace's ambitions. Now, I think, personally speaking, I don't see any reason why we can't get into Europe. I think a European place is perfectly achievable for us, given the fact that we have the right manager and a bit more investment. I think if we invest a little bit more into what we already have, and we get the right manager in, I don't see why a European spot isn't perfectly achievable. So I guess it depends what answers Zaha gets from the board and from everybody else involved at the club. So it looks as though it's not completely dead in the water that he's going to stay at Crystal Palace. There's no certainty now that he's actually going to leave at the end of the season. I think that if they can give him the insurances, and also they can give him a bit of insight into who the new manager is going to be, then he may well decide to stay on this new £10 million a year deal. But let me know what you think down in the comments, as always. Do you think that it's worth us spending £10 million a year on Wilfried Zaha? Or do you think that actually we could probably get 2 or 3 players for that money coming into the club that would see us beyond the next 4 years? So that's obviously something to consider. We're spending a lot of money on one player, and yes, it is Wilfried Zaha, and yes, it is somebody who's going to score us goals, but would we be better off spending that money on maybe 3 or 4 other players that are younger and could see us well into the future? Let us know in the comments what you think, and subscribe as always.